Hello, this is going to be the Shark PowerPoint presentation. I am in my pajamas right now. Sorry, it's kind of early in the morning, but I have the informations properly ready to present. Here I'm going to be going through the external anatomies first and then the internal anatomies next. For this presentation, I'm actually going to be using this card here. It's just what you see on the share screen right now. It's just a list of the materials that I'm going to be going through. No notes or anything. I'm just going to have this so I can keep track and I can go through all of the necessary organs and external features that I actually need to be mentioning here. So let's start off with the fins. The shark is actually really smushed. So there is something that I want to do. So I have drawn a picture of a shark here. All of his fins are on there. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of fins. With let's start off with the top actually. This is the dorsal fin. This is also a dorsal fin. This is dorsal fin number 1 and dorsal fin number 2. This is what is going to keep the shark balanced without flopping all over the place. And behind in here, the biggest fins is going to be the caudal fins. The caudal fins are going to be the motor for the shark. It's going to be what they're moving around with. And this specific type of caudal fin is going to be called a heterocircle caudal fin. Heterocircle means that this fin right here at the top is going to be bigger than the fin at the bottom right over here. And the next fin is going to be the anal fin right here. There's just one at the tip you would see of the shark. Right here is going to be the pelvic fin. The pelvic fin is going to be the one with something called clasps if it is a male. And the clasps are basically what's going to be grabbing onto the female when mating. Only males have clasps, which means. Next is going to be the pectoral fins right here. The pectoral fins are going to be, well, some people would think that the pectoral fins are for steering, but sharks do not steer with their pectoral fins, and they do not like move around like this, like how you would see in some shark movies. That is incorrect. They are still and stiff and stuck onto the sharks, just like that. The reasons for that is because the sharks are kind of like a torpedo or like a missile or a rocket. They just glide through the water. They shred through the water like crazy. So that's all of the fins for the sharks. Sharks are aerodynamic as well, so that's why they're able to shred through the waters. Next is going to be the lateral lines. The lateral lines are, there's a nice picture here. It's this line right here. This is actually called the tactile sensory organ. I like to remember as tactical sensory organs because this is a very special type of sensory organ for the sharks. You there is a saying for us how somebody can see or somebody has eyes behind the back of their heads. Sharks actually have eyes all over their bodies, and that they have views of 360 degrees around their bodies. They're able to sense their surroundings, sense prey, or they're able to sense any kind of like maybe obstacles, also just predators that would maybe potentially harm the sharks. And they are also able to sense water pressure, like pressure changes in the water. They're crazy. They're just like another type of vision. It's different from ours, but it is another type of vision for the sharks. Another thing is going to be the spiracles right here. These are the spiracles. Spiracles are basically, well, people think that they're ears at first glance, but they're more closer to nostrils. They take in the water through these spiracles, and then they go throughout the lungs. So some sharks need to keep swimming, like people say, but not all sharks need to keep swimming. So for example, maybe like a great white shark would keep their mouth always open like this when swimming around to let all the water in through here and out the gills, right? And sharks with spiracles, like for example, I think this is a dogfish shark maybe, and well, other reef sharks as well, such as the white tip or the black tip. They are able to just chill on the bottom of the seafloor and let the water come through and out of the gills without actually needing to swim around like other sharks, like the great white, like you mentioned earlier. So after the spiracles are going to be the gills of the shark, which I have a picture of on the next slide here, if I can get to that. Yep, get rid of that line. All right, here is, oh, that's not it. Right here is the gills. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I've heard that sharks have 5 to 7 gills. Looks like this one has 5, or not 5 to 7 gills, but the slits for the gills. This one has 5. And the shark's gills have something called capillaries inside them, which are really thin layers of blood vessels. This allows them to, well, this allows gas exchange for the sharks' capillaries inside the not lungs, sorry, the gills. So next is going to be the ampullae. So that is on the next slide, right over here. So that looks something like a blackheads, or maybe the thing like strawberries. Like if you look at the top of your, or the tip of your nose, me especially, I have a lot of blackheads. I wish they weren't there, but they are. These are another type of sensory organ for the shark. There's a good example with maybe hammerhead sharks and man rays. They are going to be on the seafloor and just kind of shuffling around in the sand, and they're able to sense the like crabs, crustaceans, and also maybe clams under the sand with using these sensories, and they're basically X-ray visions for the ground, I guess. I feel like another reason why sharks, like when you get attacked by a shark, someone says to punch them in the nose, which is around here. I guess that kind of disrupts their sensory organs, and it's kind of agitates them or kind of confuses them, is what I think. Oh, here's a nice view of the clasps, by the way, on the next to the organs that I just mentioned. So I guess the shark that we're looking at here is going to be a male, which means that we're going to be looking for the pelvic. Yes, the pelvic region for the shark later on. The testes, sorry. Yeah, for the shark when we're going through the intervals. Next is going to be the eyes. So the eyes of the shark are going to be on the sides right here. And that means they're going to have a limited view of vision, hence all of the other 360 degrees superpower sensory organs that they have. But the thing is, the shark's eyes are actually maybe just as good or even better than the human eyes. And the reason for that is because the shark's eyes are able to pick up color, texture, gradients. They're able to do pretty much everything that we do. And they're also able to have the added bonus of night vision and the free sunglasses. And what I mean by that is they're able to see at night and the dark, murky areas as well, like murky waters. And they're also able to look straight up to the prey, which is going to be like above the water, and the sun rays that is going to be hitting the shark, and it's not going to be affecting them since they have sunglasses. So you may be wondering how that exactly works. It's kind of just weird if I just say that they have night vision goggles and they have sunglasses, but there are actually something behind their retina, which is like reflective crystals that kind of shift around depending on night vision or sunglasses. And that is what is going to be giving them these. And also the sharks have a protective or protection on their eyes when they're going to be attacking the prey, when they're eating prey, food, and or maybe in a squirrel or a fight. Squirrel or a fight, yeah. And maybe, for example, I sometimes see sharks like in National Geographics when they're trying to eat food, they flip their eyes open, or not flip their eyes open, sorry, but their eyes go like white all of a sudden, like something, their eyes just like flip upwards. And I always thought that was weird, and I was wondering why they do that, but that is actually to protect their eyes. And these protective shields, basically, goggles, maybe, come up into their eyes, and their eyes retract backwards, and it just covers their eyes like this, so they don't get damaged in their little fight that they're having right there when they're eating their prey too. Don't want to get scratched and damage their precious eyes. Very important for hunting. That is actually all of the externals. We're going to get into the internals now. Here, let's see, we have the liver first on my list. The livers are going to be 3 lobes. There's going to be 3 lobes on the liver. Let me note that down here real quick. So these, actually, I think the second picture is going to be a little better here. So here's one. This is a large lateral lobe. There's going to be another one right here too. There's a total of 2 large lateral lobes for the liver, and there's going to be one a median lobe right here, which is going to be the one with the gallbladder attached to it. So before getting to the gallbladder, the livers for the shark are going to be doing the usual functions, that livers would do, maybe creating bile, cleaning the blood, for ridding the toxins out of the blood. There you go. But for the sharks, they also help for buoyancy. So they don't need to be swimming around. They're able to just kind of like float. So using less energy, basically, buoyancy allows them to. So the liver is a very important function of the shark, and that's why it's so big too. It's just, it takes up most of their body, or the insides of their body. The gallbladder, let me erase that real quick. It's right here. It's attached to the median lobe of the liver. Gallbladder is gallbladder. It's what all gallbladders do. It just stores the bile that the liver produces, which is going to be digestive liquid. It helps in digestion. After the gallbladder is going to be the stomach, which I have right over here. This is the stomach. There's a nice view right there. Actually, you know what? This one, there you go. This one has a really nice view of the stomach. You actually see the esophagus too right here. So besides the esophagus, the stomach is separated into 2 general parts. There's this part right here, and there's this part right over here. This region right here is going to be called the cardiac region. It is very smooth and soft. I don't know about soft actually. I know that it's smooth is from what I've read. And the second region of the stomach is going to be the J region, is what I call, or I like to call it, is going to be called the pyloric region. So the pyloric stomach or region. This is going to be where some of the nutrients absorption is going to start happening before the small intestines. Next is going to be the pancreas. The pancreas should be somewhere over here. It's like right there, but I think there's a better vision or better view somewhere elsewhere. Let's see. Oh yeah, right here. There you go. That's a nice view. This pancreas right there. So the pancreas is just basically going to help with digestion as well. And yeah, helps with digestion. Digestive fluids go inside there, and it also helps with metabolism, is what I remember. It helps with metabolism, metabolizing the food. Next, after the pancreas is going to be the small intestines with the spiral valve. The spiral valve you can't exactly see since it's inside the small intestines, but I'll get the small intestine real quick. There's one way to view the small intestines right over here. Inside this like sac is going to be like this little spiral thing going on, and this basically reduces the speed of the of digestion, and the reason for that is so more nutrients can be absorbed, and it also increases the surface area, which also allows for more absorption. It's kind of cool, I think, that like it's like spiraled and allowing the food to like kind of slowly go through and allowing for the nutrients to be taken up slowly and more effectively. It's a nice evolutionary trait that the shark has there. That's the colon. It's right there, basically. Sorry, I'm gonna right here. It's where all the poop, feces, and urine goes. It's where that is stored, and it is exited out through right over here. Next is going to be the heart. The heart is all the way down here, I think. Sorry, wait. Let me get it's right here. It's right in the center where the gills are located. This is the heart. The sharks have a total of 2 valves, while humans have 4 and amphibians have 3. So it's more similar to a fish, 2 valves. So it's not the most effective. And that makes sense though, since they also have the gills, which is going to be taking in the oxygen, so in the water, filtering out the oxygen in the water. So next is going to be the reproductive organs. So this should have a testes somewhere since it's a male. It should be in the upper right-hand portion of the liver. Let's see if we can get a view somewhere around here. Well, should be in the right-hand section right here. Should be over here. I don't know why I don't see it, but should be behind the liver. Should be behind the liver lobe. Maybe there's a photo somewhere around here where it's showing that the liver's being lifted up. Should be there though. It should be there. Huh. That's strange. Well, that's where it's supposed to be. It's underneath behind the liver lobe, so yeah. But let's go next, I guess. And there's the spleen. The spleen is going to be, you can see right here, it's a dark object right here. That's the spleen. It's going to be doing the things that spleens usually do. It's going to be helping with fighting the invasion from the outside. I'd say it's like a defensive mechanism, but producing white blood cells as well. And the last is going to be the retinal gland, which is unique to the sharks and other creatures living in the salt water. It's right over here. Saw it earlier. It's this thing. We think it's a reproductive organ. Honestly, it looks like one, but this is actually going to be regulating the salt that comes into the body of the shark. So all the salt is going to be concentrated into this retinal gland, allowing the shark to be not pickled. That's what I'd say. And yeah, that is all of the structures so far. No, yeah, that is all the structures, and I went through all of them as well. I was actually unable to find the male reproductive organ. I'm actually going to pause the video here to make sure. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. It should have been there. I guess this is it. The thing that I pointed out earlier. I was correct. Yeah, it's this thing. It's kind of in the back, so it's hard to find, but yeah, that is indeed the testes of the shark. So that is all the structures with that, right? So thank you. Sorry, let me end the video.